Good evening, everyone. I'm Kamen Enchev. We're just 3 days away from arguably A-State's biggest game of the season as the Red Wolves will travel to Boone, North Carolina to take on the Mountaineers. A-State and App State are both 4-0 in Sun Belt play and the only undefeated teams in the conference. The Mountaineers have actually won 10 straight Sun Belt games dating back to last season, which included a 37-32 win over the Red Wolves at Centennial Bank Stadium. App State returns 20 starters from last season in this game, which could decide the conference title, but Coach Anderson isn't treating the game as a Sun Belt championship.
Well, it's the biggest game because it's the next one. It still counts as 1 of 12. I know it's a good opponent, and we're both undefeated, which is, this is where we wanted to be. But it's not the end of the season if you lose it, and then the season's not over if you win it. You still got work to do.
To hoops, Brian Boyer and the Lady Red Wolves have their first exhibition game tomorrow night against Henderson State. The Red Wolves return 13 players from last season, including back-to-back Sun Belt Player of the Year, Drea Gamble. A-State's picked to finish first in the Sun Belt, but before that, the Red Wolves need to figure out a rotation.
And that's why tomorrow is important because, I am not set on a rotation yet. And just because, like I said, we've got a lot of returners that have improved. So, now it's a chance to see them in a live setting and how they react to that.
On the volleyball, Marquis Shadig was named the Sun Belt Defensive Student Athlete of the Week after 52 digs and wins over Little Rock and Georgia Southern. The Red Wolves moved up one spot and are ranked 21st in the nation in the PrepVolleyball.com poll. A-State plays at Georgia State on Friday. To the other side of the state, the Razorbacks are 4-4 and need to win 2 more games to make a bowl game. The tough 4-game SEC stretch starts with the road game against number 19 Ole Miss. As always, the offensive line is the key for the Hogs, who rushed for 291 yards against Tennessee Martin as Mitch Smothers received the SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. The Razorbacks forced 6 turnovers against Ole Miss and Bo Wallace last season on their way to a 30-0 win. Ole Miss's new QB, Chad Kelly, is 7th in the nation in passing yards, but also 3rd in interceptions, so forcing turnovers will be key again.
A tremendous challenge. Ole Miss is playing very, very well. We saw them last week against Auburn. I got to watch a little bit of it live before our game, but then to watch the game and have watched all of their games this year. Their quarterback is playing extremely well. When he's hot, they're hot.
And in high school football, here's a look at our Sweetest Play of the Week nominees.
We start with Osceola as Tyreek Slayton goes deep to Darius Bradley for the touchdown as Osceola beats Cedar Ridge 33-21 to clinch a playoff berth. Our second play probably wasn't by design as the mishandled snap and Kessler Pierce to Jamaica Franks for the 2-point conversion. With the win next week, Rivercrest clinches at least a share of the conference title. Our third play features defense as Ricky Harmon scoops up the loose ball and heads down the sideline for a big gain. Mark Tree beats rival EPC, and the Indians are in good position to make the playoffs. Head on over to KIT8.com to vote. Polls close Tuesday at 8. You can see the winning play that night on Region 8 Sports at 10.
And we disagree about Mizzou KU, but we agree that the Royals are an awesome baseball team. Won the World Series last night. Good for you, Diana.
Exciting. There was lots of screaming at my house.
I believe it. And you lived right next to Kauffman Stadium back in the day.
Back in the day, yes. And this ball came, George Brett signed it. So
that's awesome.
From
Really?
the 1985.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
No.
That is
I'm
I'm going to have this inspected.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.